Hello. So I am back with my balaclava journey, and um, I want to shout out Pain. I'm not sure how you say 1751. I'm going to leave a link to all my social media accounts. And if you want to follow me on there, I will follow you back and we can be buddies on there and we can chat and just say hi if you want. Of course, there's no obligation to do so. But the comment was about friend breakups, and I think in many ways, friend breakups can be even harder than romantic breakups. Because friend breakups, those are like, in a way, it feels like family. In a way, because when you're romantically involved with someone, unless you're married, but of course, even there's divorce, it feels like friendships are meant to be more permanent, and kind of feels like sometimes relationships can come and go. Obviously, that's not true across the board, but sometimes it feels like that. And it feels like friends are family and that they'll be there forever. So when you have a friend breakup, because they're supposed to be like the person, they're your comfort person. They're the person who you go to when you want to have fun or relax, or they're the person that you go to when you have breakups with your significant other. And when you break up with your friend, you don't have a comfort person, and that is very devastating. So I have experienced a couple. Excuse me. I'm gonna try to stretch my legs. Okay, yes. I'm like in the same position for a long time. I gotta like switch it up. Anyways, so I've had friend breakups before. They're not fun. Like I said, some ways they kind of hurt more than a romantic relationship breakup. The friend breakup that stands out to me the most involves someone that I knew since I was in 8th grade. And this person and I were very close, and her family got to really know my family. She got to know my mom and dad and my siblings. Well, singular sibling. And she even met several of my cousins. And I met her family, and I met her sibling, and I knew her stepmom, and I knew her boyfriends and stuff, and we were in each other's lives for a long time and through a lot of different things. And even though I moved away, states and states and states away, we still remained very close and would keep a correspondence. And she visited me several times, flew to the area that I live, and I had flown to the area that she lived and spent time together. And I got to stay with her family, and she got to stay with my family. So even though we had distance between us, we still managed to stay close. And then when the economy hit really bad and there was the recession in 2008 or 9, can't quite remember, my family went through financial turmoil and we lost everything. And we had to move back to the location where my friend was at. So I reconnected with her when I moved back. And because I was in a really bad place financially and mentally, I would lean on her to do things for me, like pick me up or let me stay at her place. I think I didn't realize what a mooch I was being, but I was desperate to feel a sense of normalcy. My family and I had all of our cars repossessed and our home. We were living with family and we were all living in a spare room, my whole family in one room. It was an interesting time. So I would just try to go and spend as much time with her, and she was living with a boyfriend, and I would kind of just be there a lot. And I didn't have enough self-awareness at the time to realize that I was probably biting off more than I could chew, and that I was probably being a menace. But I was in a very desperate situation, and I just wanted to feel better. So I didn't quite have a good level of self-awareness. So one day I tried to talk to her and ask her if we can go out, and she just didn't reply, and it didn't show that she had read the message. And I continued to message her and say, hey, what's going on? Da 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 da. And I got no response. And that was the last time I ever spoke to her. Well, the time before that. To this day, we never had an official falling out or conversation. And to this day, I'm not even quite sure why. I assume that it was because she felt like I was being a moocher, but I don't even really know for sure. And part of me wishes that she would at least give me the opportunity to apologize. But at this point, it's probably been about 10 years since we last spoke. And you would think I just wouldn't think about it anymore because it's been so long. And truth be told, I don't really think about it. But what has happened on several occasions is that I will have dreams about this person. And in my dream, we have a talk and we explain what happened, and we're able to come to a point where we could be friends again, and I could try to make amends for whatever it is I did, which I'm not even quite sure. I'm assuming it's that, but it might be something else. And it hurts my heart that she never even gave me the opportunity to try to explain myself for whatever it was I did. I truly, honestly, am not really sure. And it's those dreams happen at least once or twice a year for the past 10 years. And every time I dream about it, the dream feels very real. And I always think that I always feel like relieved in my dream. I'm like, oh, thank God, like I could put that behind me. And then I wake up and then I realize it's not a dream, or it's not real, and that my friend and I are just officially like not friends still. Well, not officially, but you know what I mean. We're just, I'm back where I originally was. I have made multiple attempts to talk to her. She's alive, for anyone who's wondering. Her social medias are public. Her social medias are all public, and she is very active on them. And because her social medias are public, I have attempted to publicly reach out to her. And every time I do, she ignores me. She doesn't even bother to give me a message and say, leave me alone. She won't even bother to tell me, leave me alone. It's just, she completely iced me out. It's like screaming into a void, like a wall. Like, she won't even, like, at this point, if she told me to leave her alone, that would feel a little bit better, because then, like, I feel like I've been acknowledged. I have not been acknowledged by this woman for over 10 years. And you would think, like, just leave her alone. I have left her alone. I haven't tried to talk to her in a really, really, really long time. And it's not like I consistently try to talk to her either. I have wanted to try to understand, because it's just been a lingering thing. I'm just like, well, what the heck? Like, can you at least, like, do me, like, okay, I'm sorry if I did something, but geez, can I, like, at least try to, like, fix it, or at least apologize? Like, Jesus. I don't know. And I've talked to friends and family about it, but they all tell me that if anything, I should be mad at her at this point, because it's really messed up what she did. And I'm like, I don't know, for some reason I just can't see it like that. I'm just like, well, obviously I did something bad if it, like, hurts her this much. So it's, like, hard for me. Like, I still wouldn't flip it at this point. Like, I still see it as, like, I did something bad. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. But, I mean, she doesn't owe me an explanation. If she doesn't want to tell me, that's fine. It just, like, kind of sucks. I'm like, dude, like, we knew each other, like, for so long, and you're just like, okay, bye, bitch. Like, the thing is that, like I said, we knew each other, like, since 8th grade, and I got to know her family really well, and she got to know my family really well. And, like, she really, like, she knew not just my parents, but, like, my, you know, like, my relatives and stuff. Like, she met my grandparents, my cousins, and my sibling, and all of that. And it's like, and I got to meet her family, and we had been in each other's lives, like, even though we, for a while, were not living in the same state. And every so often, my family will ask me, like, how's blank, and I don't have the heart to tell them that her and I are not friends anymore. So I always just tell them, she's fine, she's doing good. Like, I just don't have the heart to say it, because I feel, because she, for a while, felt like family, and I don't have the heart to tell my parents and my sibling that she just dumped me, because I wouldn't want them to see her in a negative light, because I just wouldn't want to. I don't know. I guess there's a part of me that just always feels like maybe she'll come back. I have issues, man. I really do. I need to learn how to let go of shit. So yeah, that's that's like one of my more significant like friend breakups. I mean, I've had plenty and I've had a lot. Well, not a lot. I've had some that are like really just like very drama filled. But this one, I think what makes it feel very like significant is that it felt like it was out of nowhere, like out of left field. I'm like, okay, I literally don't even know like what I did. I'm like, so I don't know. I'm just gonna be silent for a little bit. I'm gonna let the knitting do the talking. I was gonna say too, I wish I knew your name. Pain 17 D1. It's okay, I don't have to know your name, just whatever you're comfortable with. She mentioned that she likes wearing balaclavas because they're very face framing, and I agree. It like cinches the face and like it's like pretty neat. I like it. I don't know if anyone's ever seen. She doesn't post anymore, unfortunately, but I used to love her videos. Her YouTube channel was called Amelia Fart, and she would always wear a scarf around her double chin because she refused to show her double chin. And I feel like that sometimes, and like the balaclava just like tucks it very nicely, and it feels like I'm like, ooh, like I'm snatched in the face. Yeah, I've made actually quite a few balaclavas because they're really fun to make. I like the way I look in them, and then also they're not like super time like they what's the word I'm looking for? They're not excuse me, they're not super time consuming. I mean, some knitters, at least it seems like it, like on their sometimes I'll watch people make like a tutorial on like a balaclava or something, and it looks like they did it in the time that it took them to film that video. So I don't know. I mean, I know they do cuts and stuff, but like even in one sitting, I mean, I wouldn't be able to finish it in one sitting. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? But balaclavas for me at the very least take at least like 2 or 3 days. So that's why I like them. They're not like, it's not like super time consuming, and then it's also very functional. Like it's a hat, like I like hats. And whereas like making blankets is like very time consuming, it is functional obviously, but I feel like people already have a lot of blankets. But handmade blankets are nice obviously, but they just take so long. And balaclavas don't take that long. I like beanies too. The only thing is that with beanies and balaclavas and hats, I always, it's very rare that I wear my hair down. So what I want to try to do is make a balaclava with a hole on the top for my ponytail, because I always wear a ponytail. I tried to look up like if there's patterns already like available for balaclavas with a ponytail hole, but there really isn't, and I think it's because like people kind of like associate like a face mask with a ponytail hole as like BDSM. Like when you look at like BDSM pictures, it's like the whole face covering except the mouth and eyes, and then they have like a ponytail, and I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to emulate that. I don't know. I mean, that's fine if that's what people like. I mean, I'm no judgment here, but I'm just saying I like to wear my hair out. I don't like my hair around my neck. I like it up in the air. These are really fun colors. I really do like it. So this is what I'm using right here, and then this one was just like that green. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm just gonna like do a couple more rows, and then I will finish today's video, and I will be back for tomorrow's video. Just gonna do a couple rows. Tomorrow I can talk about my current best friend. Her and I have an interesting story, actually. We were friends in high school, but not like really close friends. We were like part of different social circles. Actually, I should just save the story. Her and I have a podcast together, and I will leave that information for anyone who's interested in the description. But I'll also talk about it tomorrow, so I can have a topic to talk about. I try to make these videos like around only 20 minutes. I don't like to make it too long. Not too long. Just gonna do one more row, and then I will say goodbye. Oh my goodness. For some reason, the pearl. I was watching like 2 different videos of like knitters talking about their knitting experience, and both of them were saying that they prefer or they find it easier when they're working purl rows than like as opposed to knit rows. And well, I have a feeling they feel like that because they are lace knitters, and like when you're on the outside, the knit side, you have to like really be careful because it's very intricate and you're making a design, so you have to be very mindful. Whereas this, it's just like stock net stitch. You don't really have to be like too careful. And the purl rows are so annoying for me to work because the movement. I mean, I do continental knitting, so I keep it on my left hand, and it's just like not as fast. I've seen people continental like purl the way that they do it. Everybody has their own like kind of technique, because it's like purling is kind of weird in general. It's like literally the inverse, but I've seen a couple of people do it like in different ways. That's always like one of my favorite things about like watching other people knit and crochet, because everyone has their own method of like holding yarn or holding the hook or holding needles. Like everyone has their own way. I have seen people hold and like knit and crochet in like what I consider kind of not crazy, but like just like very interesting and unique. I'm like, I've seen people on TikTok, they crochet the way that you knit, like English knit, where you yarn over with your other hand. I'm like, girl, why are you doing that? Like, you are adding unnecessary time. But I mean, whatever feels comfortable at the end of the day. So yeah, some people might cringe at the way that I purl. I don't know. But anyways, I'm just gonna finish this row. I will say it feels very soft, which is nice. I know I was complaining about big twist, but now that the rows are being worked, I will say it feels very soft, which is nice. What did I just do? Okay, that was the end of the row. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow.